Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Great Reviews. My name's Chris, and today I checked out this new Hulu movie, No One Will Save You. Maybe you. No One Will Save You is directed and written by Duffield, who notably wrote a few movies like Underwater and Love and Monsters. No One Will Save You is a sci-fi horror movie about a young girl who's living alone in this large house, seems to be an outcast from her town when an alien invasion begins, and then throughout the story we learn some of the history of this character and why she's an outcast. And it's a movie. Sort of. So right off the bat, I think the production quality in this movie is pretty great, with some interesting camera work, some fun lighting. A lot of times it feels like this house she's in is a set and not really a house, especially with the way it's lit. It's just very, very ridiculous and over the top at times. The aliens waver from looking really cool to looking really CGI-ish and noticeable, but this movie has a ton of action. It's way more of an action movie than it is anything else, I would say, at this point. There is this emotional core they're trying to strike at that I don't think really works, but after looking online, I'm in the minority here. It seems people are loving this thing. There's a gimmick to this movie in which there's really no dialogue save for like a line or two. So it's just this girl being chased by aliens. And then the little bit of storyline development is through some writing and letters we see, and then some visuals. Here's the thing. Here's my problem with this movie right up front, is that there's about a premise here of a girl who's an outcast. We don't know what she did in Aliens Invade, and nothing is really developed until the end when it's revealed what she did. And I get this movie is supposed to be about trauma and coming to terms with things you did and grief, all that kind of stuff that's been in every horror movie for the last 5 years. And so the character arc is her. Does she ultimately forgive herself? Can she? How can she live in this world? And there's like the movie kind of ends on a dark note, which is all fine. I just felt like there's not nearly enough story in this movie, and it's just all plot. And I got so bored 15-20 minutes into this thing when it becomes so repetitive with all the alien action. None of it was like good for me because I knew the character wasn't gonna die. I knew nothing was really at stake with our main character. I was just more interested in learning what the twist reveal was gonna be. And when the final reveal of what she did is revealed, I was like, okay. There's a repetition to all these action scenes too, where it's like we would have all this action and then a pause, and then bam, something would happen again. There's Christopher Nolan's fucking trailer sounds every 3 seconds in this thing. It's just like weird alien stuff doing alien tropey things with their clicking and the noises they make. And so none of the action sequences really compelled me. Granted, I'm not like a big over-the-top action guy. Like Marvel movies and all that kind of stuff never works for me. I just don't care. I like character stories, and I thought it was set up interesting, but again, 5 minutes of movie at the beginning is the setup, and then we get no more storytelling except for a little visual cues here and there that sort of develop the story a little bit, but not much. This would have been a great short, but not an hour and a half long movie for me, at least. There's also like the fact that she lives in this mansion and it's like stuck in the 60s, and I get it's also mirroring our character who's unable to grow or change ever since the incident that occurred when she was a youth. And so there's like a lot of implausible elements to the story because she's stuck in this traumatic moment in her life, and therefore the house around her mirrors her, not her growing or changing. Makes sense visually, but plausibly as a human being, it's stupid. There's no way this, like, she looks like she's 16, but she's probably like 23-year-old girl can afford to live on this mansion that is still somehow operating like with rotary phones and all this land, and she has this dollhouse version of the city, and she rides a bike, and it's too ridiculous for me. And so not being grounded in reality makes it that the whole story supposedly being this very grounded, horrible thing about trauma doesn't land for me at all. I was bored for most of this movie, and I was let down by the twist, and the gimmick of no dialogue got old fast, and they have to cheat it occasionally with just writing and stuff, so it's not even like visual storytelling at that point. So it looks alright, definitely had a decent budget. It's not a terrible movie. I can recognize a lot of it's just not for me in these action scenes and stuff. I felt nothing for them. The tension wasn't there. And I like that they did try and go for a more thoughtful character piece in some points, but it didn't really hit for me. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm probably in the minority on this one. I'm guessing a lot of people liked it, but let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know what I should be watching, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.